Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. We're currently in September 1982. We played every video game halfway through 1982, so whether you're joining us here for the live show or you've been here since 1971, welcome. We are currently reading Electronic Computer Gaming World, and this one had a top 10 of all the best computer games, at least from their perspective, and we gave our best 10 computer games so far on the channel. Who knows what's going to be next? And that is going to the United Kingdom to play some Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Crabs, just Crabs, that's it. Here's the box or the information you would have seen. The original one is pretty bare bones, obviously can't be photocopied, but you open the whole sleeve up and that's what it looks like. This was also re-released later in a compilation called Spectrum Games by JRS Software, with all the instructions on how to load the games. Man oh man, the loading trials of 1982, with an example of the screenshot. And that's all we have, just some extra versions by JRS Software. Let's pop in the first one and play by Paul Osborne, published by JRS Software sometime at the beginning of September 1982. Oh, we get a nice little opening, very cool. And there's the Crabs, using some of the character sets of the ZX Spectrum. Let's see what you got, Paul. So there's all our instructions. I'm glad they tell us because we're an asterisk. I guess that's what we are. Energy pads, crabs, spots, bonus points. Do not attack crabs unless you're being energized. That's right, we're playing something like Pac-Man. We control it with the cursor keys 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you look down at your ZX Spectrum keyboard, looks kind of like that. 5, 6, 7, and 8 were how you moved around. Let's go. Press any key to continue. Oh yeah, it looks like some of the other Pac-Man style games we've seen on the ZX81 and ZX Spectrum. And there we are, we're the asterisk. And this is not the first time we've been an asterisk. So I'm moving to the right, using the cursor keys on my spongy ZX Spectrum keyboard. Wow, it is molasses slow. But you go and pick up, I don't know if I picked up, was that my Energizer? I guess it is. Let's see if we can destroy a crab. Yeah, oh, it worked. So the O's, or the circles, are where you get your power pellets for Pac-Man or crabs, and then you can go attack the crabs. So you're picking up all the dots as usual. There you go, get the O, and attack and kill. And we have also @ symbols. The maze, I can confirm, is the exact same one every time. Whenever I've did some play testing, they're not randomizing the Pac-Man maze. It is the same thing as we've seen before, but wow, the speed of this is so slow. Look how slow I move around the board. This could take you several minutes just to be able to pick up all the dots. Think of all the Pac-Man games we played so far. It's been around 60. We're in between 60 to 70 of all the video games of all time for Pac-Man variants. And this one is not one of the best ones. But you have to remember that the ZX Spectrum just came out, and some people may have gotten their ZX Spectrum right now because it was mail order. It took a long time to arrive. Yes, ZXski. I'm not sure. It's the character set, and we've seen this since the ZX81. They kind of modified a few of them with the crabs on screen. Oh yeah, but slow. And where did the sound go? We had some great tunes coming from the ZX Spectrum in the beginning, had a little ditty, and now it's silence. The only thing we get is noise when we die. Oh, don't touch the dead crab. That's one on the top of the screen right there. And then I have another power pellet I can go pick up. Looks like the other crabs can walk through dead crabs, but we're not supposed to touch those. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish a whole board because it's so slow. Even whenever you pick up the power pellet to speed up, I'm not going even faster than that. Get some extra bonus points. Now, at this point, if you had a ZX Spectrum, this game wouldn't be considered bad. You'd actually consider this for a fun time because there's very few Pac-Man style games you could be playing on such a brand new computer. As far as the other home computers out there, though, there's much better to be had. At this point, we've seen, especially if you think of Pac-Man style games across the pond, on the BBC Micro, we have Munchie Man, we've already seen, and then Scarf Man is out on the Dragon 32. We also have Snapper on the BBC Micro, and then Vic-Min was in the United Kingdom on the Commodore VIC-20, and those are okay style games. Well, at least Vic-Min was okay. This one plays a lot like some of the other ones we've seen on the ZX81 and the ZX Spectrum. Zuckman was one we played recently, but then on the ZX Spectrum, there's only been 2 other Pac-Man games you could be playing right now, and that's Gulp Man, which is a terrible name for any game, and Monster Mine. And this one plays better than Monster Mine, but Gulp Man is much faster than this one. Gosh, it's so slow and so quiet. I want the ZX Spectrum sound. Now that we have speaker or an internal speaker, we should be hearing some bleeps and bloops at least. But it is a quaint game, and you would have enjoyed it if you had a ZX Spectrum. But there is much better out there, especially on other home computers. Since we play everything globally, there is Pac-Man variants on the Atari, the Apple, the TRS-80 Coco. There's lots of other options you could be playing. Yeah, I'm seeing Charlie's already going to sleep. I don't know how you'd have the patience to go through the entire board, but if this is all you had, you would find some enjoyment from it. I, however, am not compared to everything else. Hey, at least we got some ditties when we die, so a little bit of bleeps and bloops there. But other than that, this one is one we're going to have to pass by. We will not see any other mazes for crabs. As far as gameplay online, I haven't seen if someone has finished the first maze, if there's another one that comes up. So of all the games you could be playing right now on a home computer, if you're new to the channel, the way we break down our rating system is a 5-star rating system, and it's based on the categories of computers, home computers, consoles, handhelds, and in the arcade. So this is one of the computers. So now you ask yourself, is this one of the games you could play on a home computer that's a broken game? Then you're around this range. If this is a game that's a bad game, you're around this range. If you tell yourself this is about average for the games you could play on a home computer, you'd be about this range. If this is a really good game or an excellent game, you'd be around this range, 4 stars. But if you say this is one of the best games you could play on a home computer, you'd be around the 5-star range. I gotta say, of all the games we could play, this one is not as good as Monster Mine. It's around, it's not even as good as Gulp Man, if you want to compare it to Pac-Man style games. I'm already seeing a lot of in the chat. Charlie's going 2, Bartman 105, 1-star, 2-star. Yeah, I'm saying it works. I'm going to say still it's a bad title, but I'll say best of the bad. We'll say 2 stars for Crabs. It would be one of the 3 Pac-Man games, style games you could be playing on the ZX Spectrum. There is no official Pac-Man on the ZX Spectrum. All right, and with that, let's see what our next game is. After this commercial break. Oh, I remember this kid.
Consumer, I wanted to compare Atari asteroids with other companies.
These commercials were everywhere. Everyone still does these kind of commercials of the comparison. Atari games to other ones, but this one doesn't even have anything on the other screen.
Other companies don't make that either.
Oh, no one makes any of those games. Well, we've learned that other companies do make those games. They just don't call them Asteroids and Missile Command.
Don't make it.
Yeah, they don't make them.
When it comes to the video games the world wants most, nobody compares to Atari.
No one does compare to Atari. So here we go, our latest game on the Atari VCS. This is Deadly Duck. Let's check out Deadly Duck, starting with the box. Now, this is the very first video game we've seen on the Atari VCS by 20th Century Fox. Games of the Century. So another third-party publisher has entered the ring. We are now up to about 10 third-party publishers for the Atari VCS. It is getting crowded in here. The front of the box is very nice, quaint. We're going to be shooting from the duck. He's got a shotgun coming from his beak. Very nice. I don't know what the crabs are doing. They're trying to build something on the front. Let's flip it over on the back. 6 levels of play. Talk about a fight over water rights. Cranky crabs are really... Hey, wait, crabs are in this game too? We went from crabs in the United Kingdom to crabs at home or in North America. The ducks are quiet on their pond. Imagine crabs taking their arm with bricks and bombs. Crazy critters trying to knock our web-footed friend right out of his water. Deadly Duck has a few tricks of his own. His gun barrel can unleash a bevy of crab-cracking bullets at a moment's notice. Look out! Here comes another brick duck. It's a one-person game with the left joystick on your Atari VCS. Let's see if we have any other artwork for Deadly Duck. 20th Century Fox. There you go. So there's the old and rabid front of the box, and there's the clean front of the box. Very nice. I'm not familiar with Deadly Duck. This is one of those games you probably would have seen in the bargain bin. And same with the back of the box. Oh, dirty and cleaned up. And we also have the cartridge we're going to pop it and play. They let us know for 1 player only, and this is by Serious Software. Usually we've seen them do stuff for the home computer, and now they're doing a few games for the home consoles too. I know, right? Doesn't it seem very 90s for the front of the box? I'm with you on that, for the 20th Century logo at least. So there's our cartridge, and there's a screenshot for gameplay. Deadly Duck, let's see how we play this. Here's the manual for Deadly Duck. To set it up, they're going to tell us how to turn off our system, I'm sure. Yes, and then choose the level of difficulty. We also have difficulty switches are not used in Deadly Duck. Your job is to score points. Who knew? Blasting enemies as crabs, their bricks, and the dragonflies. Deadly can keep shooting. Wait, our name is Deadly? That's the name of the duck? Okay, I'll take that. Deadly can keep shooting as long as he avoids getting bonked by falling bricks or dragonfly bombs. You move left, right, and fire. It's just like Space Invaders. Press the joystick button to deliver one bullet, one bill bullet, and non-stop firing can work. And there's our levels of play. We have levels 1 through 4. Now, they said 6 game modes. I think that's different variants, right? You begin with 4 Deadly Ducks or lives. Receive a bonus duck at the shooting of 8 crabs over each level. Gotcha. We have 8 Krusty Krabs. Krusty Krabs? Really? I can't believe I'm seeing Krusty Krabs in 1982. In each level of Deadly Duck, who want to dunk deadly with their bricks. Brick means goodbye by our feathered friend. We also have dragonflies that approach. So we have a variation of enemies, looks like. There's our scoring. You have to know what the points are in 1982. Someone is writing this down or using the manual to help them out. Score the highest points total. I know, right? It's not a pre-existing one. And this one's new, at least when you think of all the games that have been out for the Atari VCS. This publisher, this is the first game that they've made for the system, and they're going to be using a label that doesn't sound like the 20th Century Fox, like the full name of the license. All right, so we got hints from the designer, just like with other Atari games. They give us some tips and tricks, very nice. And then here it is, the soon-to-release Other Games by Fox Video Games. That's the official publisher. Porky's. Why would they make a Porky's video game? You got me. 6-Pack, 9 to 5, and Megaforce. Looks like it's coming out soon with Turmoil and Nexar. Ones to look forward to in your bargain bin, at least by 1984. Let's pop in to play some Deadly Duck. This is by Serious Software, developed by Ed Hodap, published by Fox Video Games, the beginning of September 1982. As with all Atari VCS games, it starts with this cool attract mode, and when we want to play it, we just pick the game mode we want. Oh, is it not going to let me? Oh, it doesn't. Whoa. There isn't any selection of game modes on this. It's just going through each level. So whenever you play, you're just playing one game mode. Imagine an Atari VCS game with one game mode. I'm trying it again. And yeah, the difficulty switches don't do anything either. Oh my gosh. So you just hit reset and then go into it. That's crazy. All right, we're in. So we have the different game modes. I think they weren't displayed on the screen. Let me try it again. I'm trying to reset again. No, it's going through just one, and then you play the game. That's unbelievable. We went from playing several hundred variations on the Atari VCS, and now we're just doing one game mode each. That's crazy. So they made this giant barrier in front of us, and we're supposed to be dodging that. The dragonflies at the top are also dropping what appear to be barriers. So you see my duck down at the bottom can move left and right. We've seen this in the arcade and a few other home computer fixed shooters like this, where the duck gets stuck. Your character's getting stuck, so you can't have full freedom of movement moving left and right. Not the most creative thing we've seen so far in a shooter, but it's reminiscent of the stuff we saw in the arcades. As far as the shots, I can only do one at a time, just like Space Invaders. Yeah, you can definitely feel it's not very polished. I don't feel as smooth moving left and right as I would with other shooters, and we've seen a lot on the home console too. So there's a lot out there and a lot of ways you could play. The movement of the enemies isn't very intuitive. Have I even killed anybody yet, is the question, because they have this wall in front of me. Okay, I finally killed somebody. I want to see if we can get to other levels. And whenever you fire and hit a shot at the center, which is the dragonflies that are going left and right, they drop what looks like they're pooping something out, and then you die from that too. Simple gameplay. There's much better shooters. Now that we have Vanguard out there, I'm kind of comparing most shooters to Vanguard. When you want to play a shooter on a console, Vanguard is tops right now. It's like the best one you can play. I think that's it. Yeah, there's our high score, 840. So if we do it again, let's hit reset. Does it do the same? Yeah, same idea and same screen. So this one screen or play control is the exact same. So the game remains the same. The only thing that changes up is enemy types are going to look slightly different, or they're going to add a different barrier at the bottom. But as far as enemies, there's not a whole lot of different enemies you can shoot in the game. Very, very simple. Feels more like I'm doing a shooting gallery than an action shooter. But it is slightly refreshing because it's not sci-fi. Almost everything right now, if it's a shooter, it's going to be like Space Invaders and sci-fi. At least Deadly Duck is adding animals. That's probably the most positive thing I could say about it. Yes, I already see Master Voltaire's already throwing the poop emoji out there. Yeah, you can tell this is going to be in the bargain bin soon. It's also very unfair. The way that you move left and right and shoot, it's not very intuitive. It almost feels slightly clunky, which is hard to explain because you're only moving left and right and shooting. How can that be clunky? It's very strange. Victor's already saying, punt it in the sun. And people might later, that's right. Yeah, I know. They're blocking us, but whenever you play and you go to different levels, they change the dragonflies, or the block that goes back and forth. All right, so of all the games you can play on a home console, just to put you in perspective, we're going to see this later on the Commodore VIC-20. So this is a game that's going to be seen later to a computer. So it's going to go from a console to a computer. Believe that or not. And then we also have seen other shooters like Astro Blast that we rated pretty average for the time. Demons to Diamonds, I would say, plays better than this on the Atari VCS. And then Rescue Terra 1 was a poor title. I'd say this one's down in the range of that game on the VCS. Threshold's another one we've seen that's newer. I'd say that's still a better game than Deadly Duck. And then the most recent one, which is kind of a cool one, Communist Mutants from Space, was an excellent game, but that was one of those supercharger cartridges or cassettes on the Atari VCS. So there's a lot more better options out there, recent options out there. So I got to say low. This one is down there in the bad range. I'm seeing, oh yeah, Psychosis is given 3, better than the last one. But as far as everything you can play on a home console, I see 1.5, 2.5 as well. Yeah, there's better shooters you can be playing and better games you can be playing. So Deadly Duck, sadly, is not one of them. I'm going to have to go 2 stars of all the games you can play right now on a home console. All right, so after going from computer to console, let's see what's next. We're back on the Apple II. This is Defense. Just Defense. That's it. Defense was found in Softside Magazine. This was the September issue in 1982 about computer graphics. Take a look at those graphic shots of computers. That seems unbelievable considering the other games we've seen so far. So if you flip open to the section of Defense, this is by Greg Schroeder, but it has the Apple translation by Jordan Drockman. And if you type it all in, it'll look kind of like that picture right above my head. And you can see right here, we have what the game looks like on the Apple II, or the Apple II translation. It is kind of like Defender, kind of like Scramble. But sadly, this is one game that we don't have, and I mean that we haven't typed it in. I don't spend the time to type in every single type-in game. If they're available, then we'll play, but sadly, this is one that we can't play. We can't check out Defense, so I have to give it down to a 1-star rating. If anyone has typed in this from Softside Magazine and wants us to showcase it on the channel, let me know. Other than that, though, it did say there was an Atari version of Defense, and this was the translation, so without further ado, here you go on the Atari home computer. This is Defense. So this came out in Softside Magazine, I believe, in February, and you can see here, there's the February cover. Softside, February 1982. Freaky sci-fi artwork on the front, and then you flip to the Defense place for the game is held. There's where you can type it in, and there's an example. The screenshot looks pretty similar to what we just saw on the Apple II. And so this is originally on the Atari home computer. It's an arcade-style program for 1 or 2 players using 16K of RAM or 32K on disk and 1 joystick. Only 1, huh? There's the example of a screenshot. I know, pretty cool cover for these magazines. It's awesome. All right, let's type in and play some Defense. This is by Greg Schroeder of Softside Magazine at the beginning of February 1982. We wanted to play the September one on the Apple II, but couldn't find that one. So we'll just make do with this one. Evil aliens beyond Earth have invaded the moon. Your mission is to destroy as many attacking waves of those aliens before they launch their fleet to conquer the Earth. Your joysticks control your speed, altitude, push the button to fire, push 1 or 2 to start. So if that's the case, I pushed my button, but nothing happens. And here's the thing. This uses the other joystick. So you have to have the second joystick or change the joystick port to the second one for this one to work. It's very bizarre. All right, let's do this. Get ready, player one. So you can do two-player, but it's alternate play. You don't play at the same time. Oh, man, is this in basic or what? Look at the frame rate of the ship on the left side. So I can fire off. Yep, there we go. Nice. So it already feels like Defender because I'm not moving, but here's the thing. I can't turn to the left. It doesn't go that way. It only goes to the right. So when I move the joystick to the right, there we go. And now it moves to the right. Can I stop? Now you have to consider this is a typing game. You would have had to type this in to play. It is different than the other ones, but you can tell it's in basic because of how slowly it's scrolling to the right. Still pretty impressive. Anything that is doing left to right scrolling is great right now. But wow. I mean, thanks, Hunter. Appreciate it. Yeah, you got to admit, though, there's better games you could be playing like this. I can't even call this really Defender. Nice explosion with the characters. Just throw what the Atari has and put it on screen. This port, though, is pretty impressive. Changing what someone originally wrote for the, someone took this, which is the character set for the Atari, and then someone translated that for the Apple II is really, really cool. So this is the first one that would have been available. And I can't call this Defender because there's no radar at the top, and there's also no way to turn left and right, and we're not rescuing anybody. It's just go to the right. It's more like Scramble or Super Cobra. Yeah, still would have had fun for a typing game. At this point, though, we played lots of Defender-style games and lots of Scramble-style games for the home computer, and this one won't hold a candle to it. If we were rating this based on all typing games, this is all right. This is around average. 3 stars, maybe 3.5. But I got to give this one lower rating because there's better to be had. I also feel like I can't... Oh, I can stop. Okay, so I can stop or I can go right. That's all I can do. I thought it was going to just keep auto-scrolling to the right. Oh, but it's clunky as hell, though. You notice when I move up and down how slow it is? Yeah, so that's Defense. For the Atari home computer, of all the games we could be playing up to this point, it's pretty bad. Because of how slow it is, it's not fair, obviously, because it's a typing game, but if you think of all the other games you could be playing on a home computer, it's down there low. Yeah, Bartolman's going 1.5, I'm with you. It's still in the bad range. It's not broken, it plays, it's a shooter, but there's better ones out there, and we've even seen better typing games. Off the top of my head, you gotta check out Maniac on the Atari home computer. It is a 2-player simultaneous berserk game. So play that one if you want a crazy typing game. I'm going, Manly's going 2, very generous. Victor 1.5. Oh, well, it's not really the cover. It's the magazine that it came from. So you typed it in from the magazine. Yeah. So I'll go 1.5 for Defense. Most of the consensus of everyone in chat. And with that, let's see what our next game is. All right, time to go to the arcade. This is Demon. Really excited to play this one. Demon is another one of those vector-style games you could play in the arcades. Here's the advertisement flyer for Demon. Not very flashy. It's just telling you you're going to make some money. They even have a wood grain system at the top. And this is published by Thomas Automatics Incorporated, or TAI. Making Money is the name of the game with TA's new Superstar series of arcades, and Demon is one that is kind of hard to come by. I've never seen this one in an arcade before. Did anyone actually play Demon? And the reason I say that is when we start the emulation and the game comes up, the vector-based graphics aren't going to be able to do this justice. This one is not as bright as it should be. And there's the example of the arcade cabinet for Demon. It's all buttons. Look how many buttons it is. Looks like Defender. At least on the control panel. And there's another side. This one's also published by Rock-Ola. So Rock-Ola, we've already seen a few games that they published, like Jump Bug and Warp and Fantasy. And then later we're going to see a game called Mermaid pretty soon, and then another one called Nibbler. I'm sure you're familiar with that one by Rock-Ola. And then let's see what's next. We have the circuit board inside. Yes, I know, right? I don't think we're going to get our parents to endorse us playing an arcade game called Demon. So there's the control panel. It's all buttons. This one controls very similar to Asteroids, and Asteroid had the buttons too to move left and right, but this one takes place on foot. You're not on a ship. Really, really cool. Oh, we also have the Panic Bomb. I got to remember to push that one. I always forget the Panic Bomb when we do the live show. So there's our arcade marquee for Demon. Very, very simple. Shows you over here on the far left side the points for the gym, cargo shuttle, drone, fireball, and Demon. And then we have an example of the screenshot. We're going to the arcade to play some Demon by Rockola. First time they're trying to develop something, and then published by Thomas Automatics or Rockola at the beginning of September 1982. So when you first step into the cabinet, this is what you see for the attract mode. And this game is programmed completely in black and white. So it's black and white vector-based graphics, or XY, depending on how you want to differentiate. And then this one uses the old school style of let's program the game in black and white, but let's put the color plexiglass over the top. So the top score, red, is just the glass, and then the blue is just the glass. And then those pictures of the rocks, that's just what they put on the glass. Great idea, but kind of an outdated idea. Yeah, like Satan's Hollow. Still haven't seen Satan's Hollow yet. Now, I'm going to zoom this in because this is what you would have seen, especially if it was published by Rockola. So I'm going to go even closer so we can really check it out because it's kind of hard to see. There you go. That's a little bit better. All right. This one is very unique. I really enjoy the vector-based graphics games. I kind of wish they never went away. So I'm going to be slightly biased and rate this one a little higher than usual. I mean, look at this. Looks like Armored Command. Oh, so good. Now, this is just going through the attract mode. Let's put some coins in and play. There we go. All right, so I'm on the center. I am walking around. So it's a top-down view. That's me walking around the screen, but it controls with the buttons very similar to Asteroids. You move left and right, and instead of thrusting like a ship, it's walk forward. So you don't have the physics of a ship, but it's the exact same controls. So it feels really, really tight. Very well done. And if you look at the top of the screen, I have my score, the top left, and then right below it is a meter. Very, very small, kind of hard to see. But you can see, look at my firepower. This feels like I'm playing Robotron 2084. If I hold the button down, but look how quickly my meter goes down at the top. When you select or pick up some of these orbs or items, that increases your firepower. And then the goal of the game, or the way to get more extra points, is you have to pick up the pieces and then bring them back to the ship. So we have the enemies that are surrounding us, but the ship is the one that's just moving left to right across the screen by itself. And it just does its own thing. Oh, already did. Difficulty 4 out of 64. But man, I love the auto fire. I love the control. Where's my smart button? There it is. So we got our kill everybody on the screen also. But very, very frantic. And it gets even better than this. Yeah, I think we got one left. It's showing our difficulty where we are. So every time you die, you get a little synopsis of where you're at in the game with your current score. Whoa, what is this? Oh my gosh. I should have done a smart ball on him. And then we're back at the Hall of Fame. So here's what makes the game even better. If you put in enough quarters, and then you push start on the second player controller, look at this. 2-player simultaneous play. You and your friend can partner up and blow up all the aliens together. That's what really makes this a fun arcade game. Kind of reminds me of playing Armor Battle together. Oh, can we not shoot each other? Oh, that's funny. You bump into each other almost like you're controlling ships like Asteroids. And also bear in mind the flickerness or how thin the vector lines are isn't true to what the arcade cabinet would be. It'd be a lot brighter. It would glow even more than this. Oh, and my buddy's dying because I don't have anybody here that's taking control of him. But just imagine you could play this together with someone else in the arcade. Very, very cool. Oh yeah, well, the difficulty starts off kind of simple, and then it ramps up because the firepower is so strong, but the enemies start getting faster, and they also start shooting against you. So let's actually play the game. Turn in some things to the ship, get some more points. Our friend's going to just keep on dying, it looks like. Oh, and me. Difficulty 5 of 64. I think they're still reading. Yeah, they're still reading the second player, which means we might have someone come after them. Yeah, okay, here he comes. Die. Okay, use the smart bomb that time. on whatever that was. Kill it. Oh, and it's interesting. The worm-like enemy is taking refuge on the rock, so we can't even get to him. Very smart. All right, going in again. Oh, man, but it's really fun to play. The control is great. It's because it's similar to Asteroids. It's almost like we're playing a combination of Berserk with a top-down like shooter or a run-and-gun, but a mixture of also Robotron 2084, except you don't have the twin-stick control, and also, of course, Asteroids. And it's great because you're not piloting a spaceship. It's still sci-fi themed, but we're not flying around. We get to run around on the ground and shoot everything. So cool. Yeah, I know, right? Imagine we're supposed to be on the ground because there's rocks that are on the yellow rocks are on the screen. So the blue, I know it makes you feel like you're in space. They do some color on the plexiglass, I guess, but it's meant to be takes place on the ground. I know, right? It remains there forever. And then we also have additional enemies that come in. You can see we got a different enemy type here. I'm just going to blow him up. Cash in some more here. And then enemies start shooting at us, too. Oh, man. He's, like, not dying. Oh, wow. He takes multiple hits. How many smart bombs do I have left? I don't think... Yeah, I'm out there. Okay, we got another one spawning. He's going to try to go into the... Uh-oh, he did it. Get out of his range. Can I hide? Oh, you can't hide behind a boulder? Oh, that's so unfair. All right, looks like we did well enough to get some kind of high score. So much fun, though. Playing this, if you were to play this in the arcades, it would be brighter, flashier, and I just have a soft spot for everything that's vector-based graphics. We'll put in our initials, CHR, for Chrono. Very, very cool. So there you go, that is Demon. I'm guessing that was the demon that came on the screen. We didn't have a lot of information from the advertisement flyer, and this is one that doesn't have a manual or operator's manual to explain the game, so we just had to make it up as we went. But yeah, I like that one, Charlie. Good point. So of all the games you can be playing on a arcade or in the arcade, this one's pretty cool. The two-player simultaneous co-op is what really brings this over the top. I'm going to start it at 4 stars and probably go even higher than that. If you had a friend to play with, this would be great. The firepower in the game is excellent, and the control is spot on. I'm showing 3.5 for Manly, 4 with 2 players, very good. Yeah, Rob's going there. Victor's sitting 3. Kun's going 3. Curtis is 3 as well. I have to say, I love the vector-based graphics games and the co-op level, so I'm gonna have to go 4 stars for Demon. It's a very well done and fun arcade game. Too bad it's not in a lot of arcades for other people to play. Let me know in the comments if you've played this one or seen this one in the wild. Oh yeah, bring it up to 3.5. It's so much fun. All right, after Demon, you know what's next. But first, after this commercial break.
Magic Experts has created the toughest game for Atari's
The
video.
toughest game.
Demon Attack!
Demon Attack. Oh, look at that gameplay.
You not good enough for Demon Attack. You win this trouble. I'm winning. Good work, Voltar. Demon Attack really is tough.
Good work, Voltar.
In television version.
Oh, and they're going to have the Intellivision version soon, too. This is Demon Attack on your Atari VCS. Really excited to show off this one. Here is the box for Demon Attack. This is another one by Imagic. Now, Imagic is a company we've already seen Cosmic Arc, we've already seen Atlantis, and we've already seen Trickshot. Their boxes always have this cool glossy sheen to them, and this is one you really can't scan in. But it looks metallic, like aluminum on the front. Really, really cool. Look at the artwork, though. Man, oh man, it is like Transformers with dinosaurs in space. So cool. Demon Attack just slaps you in the face. We're going to play some great games on the Atari VCS is what it says. 1 or 2 players will thrive in ever-increasing dangers. We have an example of the screenshot back here with the Atari VCS. So nice. Yes, right. Why didn't Voltar become a mascot? And I'm trying to point in, if you look over in the commercial, what are the other characters from the other Magic games? I'm looking for the Atlantean guy, but I don't see him in there. All right, we also have, as far as other artwork, there we go, more of a reconstructed box of what you'd expect to see of the brand new Demon Attack. And then at the back of the box, we also have one that was released later for use with the Atari 2600. Ooh. So this is, I believe, the one by Activision, I think, re-released Demon Attack. We're going to be playing the first one. So there's the cartridge for Demon Attack that you'd pop into play. And then a fan art one, I'd see, no, that's the Home Entertainment Suppliers one. So that's for Australia, just an alternate box. Devastating waves of cosmic creatures attack from above. Love it. Oh yeah, so cool. Yeah, the artwork's fantastic. Here's the manual for Demon Attack. How you play Demon Attack. Marooned on the ice planet Krybor, you watch legions of eerie creatures scream overhead. They hover ominously, attack and destroy them, or be destroyed. Armed with your laser cannon, you confront the ultimate challenge, survive, of Demon Attack. So we're going to see this obviously later on the Intellivision, and we're also going to see this one on tons and tons of home computers. So it's another console to computer game, which wasn't a thing. This is starting to be more recent as far as video games go. How do we play this? This one's pretty simple. If you've played it before, destroy demons and accumulate points before you and your laser cannon meet with Oblivion. It's one of those point scorers. Keep reserve bunkers intact and increase their number by avoiding your foe's fire. When the last bunker disintegrates, the last enemy hit will pulverize you. Over here on the left side, they explain what everything is. The laser cannon, your demons, the demon fire, the demons. This one is taking a riff on Phoenix. Now, bear in mind, Phoenix has not been officially released on any consoles, or actually on anything. Phoenix is nowhere officially, not even on any home computers. Only thing that's officially Phoenix is the arcade right now. Accumulate reserve bunkers by surviving waves, and you get more lives. That's reserve bunkers. There's the Atari VCS joystick. You only need to move left, right, and fire. So nice. Flip the game select lever to do different game options. Yes, thank you. It's not Deadly Duck. We actually get other game options. Left and right difficulty levers make it aggressive or basic bombardment. I never really use the difficulty levers on the Atari as much. Most of the time I'd just be selecting what game and then hitting reset to play. So we got the different game modes over here, 1-player or 2-player. Now the co-op version of Demon Attack doesn't allow you to play at the same time. It's pretty much you're doing one wave and then you alternate play. So you're never going to have two people on screen at once. So whether I had a guest here or not, it wouldn't matter. We couldn't play at the same time. We'd have to take turns. So games 1, 3, 5, and 7, you go get different waves. 3 and 7 have special tracer shots where you can fire power. Your cannon fires all over the screen. And then on 2-player games, you can match your wits against waves of winged warriors. You can do special co-op versions. 9 and 10 allows you to take turns against the same wave of attack, which means you just take turns on each wave that comes in, but you're still taking turns. If you do the 2-player modes, then you're taking turns every time you die, but it's still alternate play. And there's the score table. Memorize it, study it. It's 1982. You want to get the high score. Even the odds for players on expert levels, so you can even change that with the difficulty switch on your Atari VCS. Yes, I know, Manly. Every time I read these manuals and we're playing with one joystick and one button on the Atari VCS joystick, I don't think we need them to explain that. But yet they do every single time. So there you go. There's the manual for Demon Attack. This one has lots of versions. It's been released many, many times. We're going to be playing the Magic with Picture Label version. It's also released in PAL regions. And then we even have a trainer version. And then later it's released by Activision. Yeah, Activision. Pretty cool. So here you go, the first one. This is by a Magic programmed by Rob Fulop at sometime at the beginning of September 1982. Oh, there we go. So Demon Attack begins like all the other Atari VCS games, like an attract mode in the arcade, and this is playing itself. I'm not doing anything. It wants to play when you're ready to play. And if we wanted to play a co-op shooter or a 2-player game, you still aren't going to be able to play together. All right. Let's go with the game modes. To just show, yeah, there we go. So we got 10 different game modes. I'm not going to do any of the 2-player modes because it's just, you're going to take turns anyway. Let's go with just game mode 1 and hit it. Oh, yeah. And we'll lower it just a little bit so everyone's ears don't fly off. There we go. Man, but the sound effects are crisp. Right off the bat, going from Deadly Duck to this, it feels like I am a shooting god. I'm only able to fire one shot at a time. It's left, right, and fire. But where Demon Attack shines is the sound effects. Notice we have some thumping in the background, almost like Space Invaders, bringing on the tension. But the amount of enemies and the types of enemies. So every wave that comes in, see how they fly and warp in? It's a great fixed shooter, a great technical shooter. And it's also beautiful. Each one of the enemies has multicolors to them. Look at how many colors are on that enemy. For an Atari game, it's amazing. I'm thankful that each wave, only one enemy fires shots. Oh, you're right. Yeah, the explosions sound really good too. There we go, and every time you survive a wave, you get more lives, but we're still going through the first attack wave. No one's split off yet. It doesn't feel like Phoenix exactly yet. Their patterns feel Phoenix-like, but they haven't split, and we also haven't seen a boss. But we will, if we make it far enough at least. Okay, here we go, now the split starts. So we already have shooters on home consoles. We already have, obviously, Space Invaders-style games, Galaxian-style games. Phoenix would be like the next level that you could play. Oh, watch out for those. The Twitter sound means they're flying at you, and you need to take them out before they crash land or kamikaze into you. And also watching your shots, because if you split one too early means you're going to have a possible kamikaze coming at you. Oh, that pattern was tricky. But control is tight, very well done. And remember, there is no official Phoenix on any system. The only time you can play Phoenix officially is in the arcade. But at this point, we play so many games that that's kind of the norm. We play something in the arcade, and it stays in the arcade for a while, and then it gets copied and copied, usually dozens of times before we see the official one come home. Okay, we're doing great. Moving on, we're splitting with the next level of enemies. So if you don't break up... Oh, he got me on that one. So if you don't break up the enemies in the back, then you're doing okay. Oh, that one almost got me. But I love the variety of enemies. This one is such a classic on the Atari. And up to this point, everything we've played so far, this is lots of fun. The only thing I would ask for is something that allowed you to play two people at the same time. You know, because we played Space Invaders that allowed you to go two at once with lots of variations, you know, co-op play and things like that. But that's really just being nitpicky. It's so good. The dying is dramatic, I saw in the comments, but the dying's also fast. Notice how quickly we get right back in the action? And we also have a lot of control over our ship down at the bottom. Getting through the attack wave. Ooh, it's getting tight here. Notice they're moving a little bit faster. Oh, no! I'm really hoping I can get to the boss, because that's really the big... one of the coolest things about it. At least Phoenix-wise. We may not be able to after this one. I forget how many waves it is until you get to it. It's very, very faithful to... Oh, they got me in the second one. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see the replay value from Psychosis. Very nice. And you can see we got the different game modes. I'm going to actually check the manual, because the mode that allowed you to change your shots is really, really fun. 3 and 7. Okay, so we'll do game mode 7. 3, I mean. So game mode 3. There we go, yeah. So this one allows you to curve your bullets, so they follow your ship around. And we've seen that in other game modes too. It really helps when they start to split. But that's just one of the game variations. They do have other ones. Essentially, what you see here is what you get when you play Demon Attack. It was so fast-paced, so well done, so fun, that we're going to see this ported to lots of places. It's amazing. I'm already seeing some people throw out 4.5 from Charlie. Wow, man, the explosion. Constant sounds make it really, really fun. And also consider that this feels like you're playing something in the arcade. And it feels like it's as good as the arcade. Get those curved bullets, tracer shots, go! Yeah, there we go. I love it. Alright, so I'm seeing Curtis going on 4 to 4.5, 5 if you're 8 years old playing it. Yeah, right? If you were 8 years old playing it the week it came out, this is definitely a 5, yeah. 4.5 from there. Kind of game you bought, yes. Going also from Deadly Duck and the other bargain bin titles we've seen on the VCS, yeah, this one is I would say one of the best games you could play on a home console thus far. It's around the range. I wouldn't say it's like the same level as something like Pitfall, obviously, or Adventure on the Atari VCS, but we have seen other games that that aren't this good as a shooter that you could play. So amazing. Up to this point, we've played 33 fixed shooters on home consoles, on all the home consoles. There's been 20 different variants of Phoenix across everything that we played under the sun. So 20 different games we played that are similar to Phoenix on home computers, consoles, and in the arcade. And then as far as home consoles go, we played Space Vultures on the Arcadia 2001, which is okay, but it didn't look like this or play like this. And we give it about 3 stars here on the channel. We also played Threshold on Atari, which had something similar to Phoenix, but didn't have the boss. And then, of course, Magic, we've seen their titles so far with Cosmic Arc, Atlantis, and Trickshot. But yeah, this one's great. I would consider this one of the best games you could play on a home console right now. Demon Attack is an excellent title. Definitely a 5-star game for the Atari VCS, but for everything considering home consoles, I gotta go 4.5 stars of everything so far. Oh, no boss on this one, Marshall? I played far enough, and I'm pretty sure there was one. But this on the live show didn't get there. Maybe it's a different version. Maybe the Activision one had it? I have to see so far. Yeah, so co-op is not on this one where you can't play 2 people at the same time. You have to alternate play. At least in the first version that a Magic did, not the Activision one. All right, so I'm going to say 3.5 stars for all the games you can play on a home console thus far. But that's not all. We are not done this evening. We got one more game that we're going to check out. It's time to go to the TRS-80 color computer, and this is Donkey King. September 1981 keeps bringing lots of stuff. This one's actually a little premature. It's possible this one was released to the public in December of 1982. We're going to go ahead and showcase it now. I'm too excited. So this is Donkey King. $26.95 for tape, $29.95 on disc. Arcade action. How high can you climb? Plays like the popular arcade game. 4 full-color graphic screens. Exciting sounds, realistic graphics. Never before has the color computer seen a game like this. Early reviews simply say outstanding. And then we also have How High Can You Climb? Plays like the popular arcade game. This is what you got on the inside sleeve, showing you how to load the game and execute or play it. And you need 32K, and it uses machine language on this one. Yes. Oh, yes, this is a true excellent version, not just what they say. And that was a preview of the screenshot. Let's pop in and play some Donkey King. This is by Chris Latham, published by Tom Mix Software. Let's do this. Is it going to be the king of all the Donkey Kong variants? Oh, you'll see. This is later going to be called just The King, because obviously Donkey King, you're going to get sued. They avoided legality. I don't believe they got sued for it. This one's running machine language, so we're expecting it to go really fast. Tom Mix Software presents Donkey King. Oh, man. It reminds me of the bootleg Donkey Kong we already played in the arcades. So if we do 2 players, it's going to be alternate play. I'm going to do a 1 player. We do not want to practice game. We're going to go real. Oh, I can hear it already. Whoa, look at the animation. It's not even real Mario. I don't believe it. Oh, there's no sound for the hammer, though. I'm hearing the clicks. It almost sounds like it's an Apple II. Oh, wow, hear the sound effects, though. Sound effects are pretty good. Whoa. The animation of Mario and the barrels, it's not even real Mario. Does anyone know, Curtis, do you know the lore of Donkey King? Who am I playing? Who is this guy? Wow, okay, so the movement and control, this plays really, really well. I'm pleasantly surprised. I can't believe this is playing so well on the Coco. What is going on here? As far as platformers go, this is blowing my mind. I thought this was going to be a ripoff, something just terrible. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is too good to be true. So, as far as home computers go, I believe this is the best Donkey Kong game we played, because Donkey Kong hasn't officially been released. But wow, oh wow, this is blowing me away like playing on the ColecoVision. The only other really good way to play Donkey Kong at home was on the ColecoVision. And ColecoVision only had, I believe, 3 of the screens. It didn't even have all 4. This one has all 4 of Donkey Kong. Or Donkey King. Whoa, and they animate him going up the ladder too? What? That sounds just like Donkey Kong too. The little ditty in between levels. Okay, so we're on the next level. I wonder if they do the same order as the arcade. Yep, walk across the edges. That's a big jump to cross now. Yeah, as far as official port, we haven't even seen official ports yet. At least on home computers. I gotta remember to do this smart. I need to get the ladder at the end. Uh-oh, fall damage? Yes. How far up can you climb? Yeah, good point, Hunter. It's actually animating, I'd say, almost like the arcade. Look how well the animation of Mario is. They took the time. Look at his face. You can even make out the mustache and the hat. But it's not Mario. Who is this guy? Maybe in Donkey King it was Luigi. This would have been amazing. This would have been unbelievable to have at home. Even if you were the kid who had the ColecoVision with the brand new Donkey Kong, for this still is so impressive. I want to get to the other screens because what really makes this stand out is the conveyor belt screen from the arcade, the one with the custard pies, I believe it is. That one's in this. And there's no other way to play that at home. Can I do that? Yeah, walk across, go back. Very nice. Let's see if we can make a jump here. Oh, he got me. And you burned up. Wow. Is this a purse? I don't know what. I guess that was the purse. I'm not sure. And we're not rescuing the beautiful girl, by the way. Yeah, they haven't called her Pauline yet. At least we haven't seen that in any of the documentation. They've only called her the girlfriend or the beautiful girl. Later she'll be referred to as Pauline, but in this game, who knows who she is? I don't even know who I'm playing right now. Orange overalls, though. I think that was one of the skins in Smash Brothers. Alright, we'll make our way across this side. I'm going to take it, see if I can knock out this one before he comes up, and then we'll use the hammer across. Wow, blow my mind. I didn't think this was possible on the TRS-80 color computer. Because if you think about it, up to this point, we've only played 2 other platformers on the Coco. And that's Sir Egbert Jumper and Canyon Climber. Canyon Climber is pretty good. But Sir Egbert Jumper is a load of trash. It is the worst platformer of all platformers we've seen thus far. And we've seen some pretty crummy ones on the VIC-20. This style of game platformer is still really fresh. It's brand new, but you can't argue with how bad Sir Egbert Jumper was. So right now, that means the TRS-80 color computer has the worst platformer and the best platformer. This one, look at this. They even have the animation and the cutscene for it. And the music. What? Yeah, and they're going to go back to the first... Yeah, they're following the pattern of the arcade. So amazing. Did I just do a moonwalk jump over the barrel? How do you do that one? You can! Oh, look at that! You can do moonwalk jumps. So you even have a little bit, not really a lot of play control, but I mean, you take what you can get when the platform games or Donkey Kong games are just a dime a dozen. Oh, we haven't even seen the Intellivision yet. We've only seen the Atari VCS version of Donkey Kong as far as consoles go, and then the ColecoVision one. ColecoVision one is the best one on consoles. This one is the best on home computers. Wow. It's so good. I can't believe I did a backwards jump. Is that what... Oh, he got me with that barrel, of course. Oh, this one's going to do the same pattern. Nice. Got it. Play control is surprisingly fresh. It plays better than Canyon Climber. And at this point, for platform-style games, or anything, not just Donkey Kong-style games, for platform games, we played 27 different games across all home computers so far on the channel. As far as Donkey Kong variants, we played 8 different Donkey Kong variants on home computers. So Donkey Kong-style games, we've only played 8 of them. This one right now is the best one. Oh, look at this high score table. No way. Am I able to... I'm using the joystick. Can I move it up and down, or just... How does it work? Just goes left and right? No way. Oh my gosh. It's doing it like the arcade. So I can't go down and use the joystick. It feels kind of weird to do on the Coco, but it very much reminisces the arcade. All right, another title that I want to keep playing. I want to see all 4 screens. Incredible. Yeah, just the wraparound. Thanks, Curtis. I am pleasantly surprised. I want to keep going with Donkey King. That is fantastic. All right, so right now, what would you say for Donkey King? So bear in mind, there's only 8 other Donkey Kong games, or style games, across all the home computers of everything. You can play all over the world right now. And as far as the... Yeah, I'm already seeing 4.5 from Hunter. It'll show 4. Oh, okay. And then, yeah, 4 all day is what Chuck says. And then just platformers in general. We played 27 platformers. I mean, I'm talking about every platformer. Not even just good ones, just everything. Yeah, I gotta say this is one of the best ones you could play, and I gave 5 stars to Manic Minder 2049er, and so this one's up there with one of the best games you could play right now. Yeah, I gotta go with you. I have to go with Curtis on this one. As far as everything you could play right now, this one's a 5. This is better than all the other platformers that you could play because it's even better than ColecoVision, which was already an exceptional game on a console, and I didn't think this was possible. So yeah, I'm seeing 5. 4.5 out there. Rob's going 5 too. Yeah, I gotta give it 5. Donkey King is a pleasant surprise. Wow. Too good, and I want to keep playing. I don't want to end the show, but this is where we got to put our video game playing on pause. Tune in next episode where we check out the 7th issue of Electronic Games. Lots of games to be checking out and reading about next time. That's it for today, and like I always say, demons, they just make video games better. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are Perpetually Retro, and we will catch you next time.